The ballroom glittered like a snow globe someone shook too hard. Crystal chandeliers, velvet dresses, fake snow swirling lazily in vents above polished marble floors. Cortex Solutions' annual winter gala, where ambition dressed in sequins and handshakes tasted like champagne. Scarlett Reeves adjusted the strap of her black dress, the satin cool against her skin. She looked picture-perfect in the reflection of a chocolate fountain, but inside something felt paper-thin and trembling. She had smiled too hard tonight, laughed at jokes she didn't hear, pretended not to notice Colton's distracted gaze. He'd kissed her cheek earlier. Perfume clung to his collar. Not hers. Music boomed. Glasses clinked. And then silence, the kind of silence that only exists in someone's chest when instinct screams. Scarlett turned just in time to catch a flash of blonde hair and a familiar tailored jacket vanish toward the lobby. Paisley's laugh, a soft little bell, floated back. Colton's hand at her lower back. The world stilled. Someone kept talking to Scarlett, but sound became water, distant and warped. 7 years shrank to a single moment. She followed on autopilot, heels tapping like a metronome marking the death of something. At the entrance, she saw them exit. His hand around Paisley's wrist, urgency replacing guilt. A valet hurried toward them. Their silhouettes merged with cold December air. And then they were gone. Just like that. No goodbye. No explanation. Scarlett's breath fogged as she stood by the glass, city lights blurring with the sting in her eyes. The party behind her buzzed like a hive sensing spilled nectar. Whispers sharpened like tinsel edges. She lifted her champagne glass. Her hand trembled. She set it down before someone saw. Scarlett. The voice was steady. Low. Warm like aged bourbon. Knox Sullivan appeared beside her, tucks crisp, silver hair gleaming under chandelier light. CEO. Legend. Rumor magnet. His gaze flicked toward the exit, back to her face. No pity. Just quiet assessment. You all right? Scarlett swallowed. Just watched my marriage leave in an Uber. Knox's brow lifted. Wasn't an Uber. A small, humorless exhale escaped her. You saw. Everyone saw, he said simply, but his tone didn't cut. It caught her instead, held her steady. Silence stretched. The kind that could swallow a person or save them. Come on. Knox nodded toward the door. You shouldn't stand here and bleed for them. Scarlett blinked. Bleed? Humiliation only sticks if you stand still. She didn't trust her voice, so she moved. Through murmurs and darting eyes. Through judgment wrapped in condolences. Through a night that suddenly felt like a battlefield. Outside, winter air slapped her awake. A Harley gleamed black under the lights, chrome catching sparks like a promise. You ride? Knox asked. No, you trust me? Tonight? Weirdly, yes. He handed her a helmet. The moment her fingers touched it, something inside her shifted. Not healed, not yet. But awakened. Scarlett climbed on, dress shimmering like armor. She wrapped her arms around a future she didn't yet understand. The engine roared. The night blew open. And they didn't look back. Scarlett's house felt foreign when she entered, like a dress borrowed from someone happier. Holiday lights twinkled on the porch, mocking her. Inside, everything smelled like cinnamon and betrayal. 2 wine glasses still sat on the counter from a night earlier that week when she'd believed life was stable. Safe. Loved. She didn't cry. Crying would honor what died. Instead, she moved methodically, kicking off heels, loosening her hair, hanging up the dress like it was armor she'd need again. Then the silence arrived. Heavy. Suffocating. Honest. She sat on the kitchen floor, back against cabinets, knees pulled close. Her throat burned, but tears refused to fall. That felt like failure too. Colton texted at 2:13 a.m. Got stuck, helping a friend. Be home tomorrow. Don't wait up. Scarlett laughed, a quiet, broken sound. As if betrayal had an etiquette. Morning brought sunlight she didn't want. Her phone vibrated like a warning. 1 message. Then 5. Then 32 notifications. Photos. Comments. Company Slack screenshots. A blurry image of her on a motorcycle, dress flying, hair wild, Knox's leather jacket swallowing her shoulders. Scarlett Reeves, corporate Cinderella, midnight escape with silver-haired CEO. The internet didn't need facts. It needed fuel. Her sister called. Friends texted. Coworkers sniffed gossip like perfume. And Scarlett, after sitting in silence long enough to hear her heartbeat without breaking, stood up. Some women crumble after betrayal. Others sharpen. She showered, steam filling the room. She put on a navy power suit and subtle red lipstick meant for days when she needed to remind herself she existed. At the office, whispers sliced through hallways. Eyes widened. Phones tilted subtly. Scarlett walked like she owned every inch of floor beneath her heels. Confidence wasn't real yet, but she carried it like a borrowed coat until it fit. Knox appeared at her office door. No knock. Just presence. Coffee? She nodded. He gestured her to follow. They entered his office. Door shut. White noise machine hummed on. Knox poured espresso, slid a cup to her. You deserve better than him. She didn't flinch. That's not why I came here. Good. His gaze sharpened. Then let's talk about the real reason. Scarlett frowned. Real reason? Knox leaned forward, hands folded. Your husband isn't just unfaithful. He's been selling us out. The room tilted. Breath vanished. Not pain this time. Fury. Cold. Precise. How long? She whispered. Months. Proof. He slid a folder across the desk. Screenshots. Emails. Transfers. Reality crashed like thunder. Scarlett's life hadn't collapsed randomly. It had been excavated from the inside. Knox spoke softly, but his words were steel. I know you're hurting. But I also know who you are. Who am I? He held her gaze. Someone who wins. Something inside her finally broke. And beneath it, something new ignited. Tell me what you need, she said. Knox smiled, not gentle, not cruel. Strategic. This isn't survival anymore, Scarlett. It's war. Scarlett didn't sleep that night. She planned. Pain had become clarity. Betrayal had become fuel. And her marriage vows felt like ashes. She studied the fake strategy Knox handed her. Every detail crafted like a loaded weapon. Numbers precise enough to fool experts. Timelines elegant traps. Scarlett wasn't just delivering intel. She was bait. At dawn, Colton returned home. He walked in humming, smelling like hotel soap and sin. No guilt. Just smug satisfaction wrapped in false innocence. You're up early, he said, dropping keys casually. Late night. Apparently we both had one. He froze for a fraction of a second. Guilt flickered. Then died beneath arrogance. Scarlett placed documents on the counter. Big pitch next week. He glanced, trying to look disinterested. Trying to pretend he wasn't cataloging every figure after months of espionage. She placed her hand over the papers briefly. I can't lose this account, Colton. His eyes gleamed with cruel satisfaction. Like her fear fed him. I'm sure you'll be fine, he said, kissing her cheek. Scarlett resisted wiping her skin. Instead, she smiled softly. Hope so. Inside, fire roared. He left for meetings. A notification pinged her phone 10 minutes later. File access detected. Then another. Screenshots uploaded. Forwarding flagged. Scarlett exhaled, the first real breath since the gala. Let him think he won. Let him drown in false triumph. By Wednesday, the rival company had swallowed every poisoned breadcrumb. Colton smirked around the house like a wolf gloating over a cornered lamb. Scarlett watched quietly. Let him feel invincible. Because his confidence was fuel for his fall. Knox met her in the parking garage that afternoon. No dramatic entrances. Just two conspirators in the glow of fluorescent lights. You all right? He asked. No, she looked him in the eyes. But I will be. He nodded once. Respect. Recognition. You're handling this better than most executives I've seen face betrayal. Maybe, she said, jaw tight. Or maybe I'm numb. He studied her. Don't confuse numb with powerful. I'm learning the difference. Silence. A beat of mutual understanding. You're doing more than surviving, Scarlett, Knox said quietly. You're evolving. She wanted to believe him. But evolution hurts. Evolution requires something to die. That night, Scarlett sat on her back porch, wrapped in a blanket, staring at the city lights. Marriage photos glowed on her phone when she scrolled, each one a lie captured in perfect lighting. Love hadn't been stolen from her. It had been weaponized against her. She deleted every photo, every anniversary post, every memory curated under illusions. She whispered to the cold air, "You don't get to break me." Somewhere inside, something answered. Then break him first. Thursday morning arrived sharp as glass. Scarlett walked into work with her hair pulled back, eyes fierce, posture daring the world to challenge her. Richardson submitted their doomed proposal. A celebration buzzed in their office across town, champagne corks popping prematurely. Ignorance never felt so victorious. Scarlett's team prepared their real pitch for morning submission. Every slide glowed with strategy, clarity, and strength Colton never believed she possessed. Marcus leaned against her office doorway. "You okay?" She nodded. "Almost. Everyone's talking. Let them." "You know," he said gently, "strong doesn't mean silent." Scarlett paused. Vulnerability tried to surface. She swallowed it with grace. "I'll feel it later." He smiled sadly. "Make sure you do." Inside the conference room, Knox reviewed last-minute details. No theatrics. No ego. Just sharp intellect and trust. "You ready?" Scarlett hesitated. "Truth. Truth. I'm terrified." Knox nodded. "Good. Fear means you care. Now use it." She breathed deeply. Her pulse steadied. They submitted the real proposal. Hours later, Richardson's executives walked into a trap so elegantly designed it belonged in a museum. And Colton? Blissfully unaware, playing traitor turned savior in the shadows. Scarlett imagined him at a bar later, bragging to someone who didn't matter. Thinking he'd won. She almost pitied him. Almost. Friday morning, Henderson called. Scarlett watched Knox's expression as he answered. Calm. Listening. Then the corner of his mouth lifted. Scarlett exhaled shakily. When he hung up, he didn't celebrate. He just walked to her and extended his hand. "You did this." She took his hand. Steady grip. Shared victory. "No," she said. "We did." A pause. Something electric in the quiet. "You free tonight?" he asked softly. Scarlett blinked. "Is this a celebration?" His tone stayed professional but warm. "Nothing more unless you choose otherwise." She nodded slowly. "I'll come." Her phone buzzed. Incoming call, Colton. She stared at the screen, thumb hovering. Knox's eyebrow lifted. "Answer or don't. But whatever you choose, make sure you're choosing forward." Scarlett pressed decline. Forward it was. Richardson collapsed publicly. Henderson executives dragged them in the press. Competitors whispered. LinkedIn lit up like fireworks. Colton's name surfaced in leaked internal threats tied to incompetence and ethics violations. Scarlett watched it unfold like weather she'd predicted. Then came the knock. Colton stood in her doorway, pale and frantic, holding papers in shaking hands. "They fired me," he choked. "Everyone knows. They're investigating. Scarlett, you have to help me." "You know I didn't mean," she let him talk. Men like him always talked themselves into deeper graves. "You ruined me," he whispered. "Why would you do that to your husband?" She stepped forward slowly. Calm. Composed. Deadly. "You weren't my husband," she said softly. "You were my blind spot." His face crumpled. "You set me up." "No," she corrected. "You built the trap." "I just stopped closing my eyes." "You don't understand," he begged. "I loved you." Scarlett's laugh was soft and devastating. "You loved having someone smaller to stand on." He reached for her wrist. She stepped back. "Love never needed to make me disappear for you to feel big." Silence swallowed the room. Finally, she whispered the sentence that killed whatever remained. "You didn't lose me, Colton. You lost the version of me who believed you." He collapsed into a chair, face in hands. Scarlett walked out without looking back. Some endings don't slam. They sigh. Power didn't taste like revenge. It tasted like clarity. Coworkers stopped by with respect instead of curiosity. Her leadership wasn't built on scandal. It was built on fire, forged into strategy. Knox knocked gently before entering. No motorcycle tonight. Suit, rolled sleeves, tired eyes. Human. Dinner, he asked. She looked at him. Really looked. Not as a savior. As someone who chose to stand beside her when she stood up. Not tonight, she said softly. His brows lifted. Everything okay? Scarlett smiled. Soft. Real. I promised myself my first victory celebration would be with me. He nodded slowly, respect in every line of his face. Then enjoy it, Scarlett. When the door closed, she poured wine. Sat on her windowsill. Watched the city breathe. No weight on her chest. No ache in her bones. Just space. Colton was a lesson. Painful, necessary. Growth always demands something back. Scarlett whispered into the quiet night. I write my story now. A motorcycle revved somewhere below, echoing memory but not claiming her. She didn't need rescue anymore. She had become her own sharp edge. And somewhere inside her chest, where heartbreak once slept, triumph stretched like a lion waking. Endings don't always need flames. Sometimes the most powerful revenge is peace.